Most of my friends in gangs, my new nickname is Genghis Khan, but without the yay, but his last name's my side. I ride with that demeanors. I'm armed to the teeth, you're Venus, and you've never been to the Venus.
What's good, y'all? Another reaction video. I haven't done a reaction video in a minute. But anyway, everybody knows who this dude is. Yeah, like Derrick Jaxn, the simp guy. You already know. The type of dude that say, hey, ladies, if you go out with a man on the first date, and that date doesn't end up with you having a brand new car, then you need to leave him because he's not serious about you. Like, he say outlandish stuff. He says outlandish stuff, crazy stuff, man bashing, and men don't bow down every single second and just kneel at your woman's feet. Then he ain't the one for you. Giving women these outrageous ideas of how their relationship should operate. And look what he doing. Frauding. And it's the women, because we told y'all he was a fraud from the beginning. We told y'all women he was a fraud from the beginning. All these dudes finessing his frauds, bruh. Him, old boy Kevin, even though Kevin Samuels is better than him, I mean, all these dudes is fraud. They finessing. They doing it for money. They doing what they got to do. They frauds. This dude is a fraud too, and he got a huge following. Everybody knows who he is. It don't matter if you're 15. It don't matter if you're 50. You know who he is. Just look how he looking at you. Look how he looking at you. He looking at the man like, yeah, I'm still a simp. Like, oh my goodness. Let's just get into it. Derrick Jaxn, y'all already know. Simp Lord.
What's going on, guys? Derrick Jaxn here, and today I am joined by my lovely wife, Danae.
Look at her. She looks so disgusting. Like, look at her. She looks so like, why am I here? So instead of sitting in, because you sit in your car by yourself when you chastising men. That's what you do. But now when you got to take accountability, oh, now you want to hold somebody's hand. Now you want to have somebody with you. Okay.
And we just wanted to address a couple of things. You know, we understand that some of you may have already heard, maybe not. That
all of us have heard. That's why you're saying it.
This chapter of our marriage is one that was preceded by a marriage that I completely failed. And I would say it just started around August, maybe September of last year. But, you know, a lot has been said already about what was the cause and all that other stuff. Some of it is true. Some of it is completely false. But the truth is, and I'm saying it here now, is that Derrick Jaxn was involved with other women outside the marriage. And by involved, I want to be clear. I'm not talking about just casually kicking it, maybe a lunch or something like that. I'm talking about as serious as sex, to sexual flirtation and meeting up and that kind of thing.
Look at this dude. Look at this dude. He's sitting on her with his sweater from 1995, and now he's squeezing her hand. He finna squeeze the life out of her hand. She gonna have a Crypt Keeper hand by the time this video is done. And now he's saying he was no. Be blunt like you blunt when you talking to us. Say, hey, I smashed other chicks while I was still on my wife. I'm still married, but I've been smashing other chicks. I mean, I've been knocking them down. I mean, I've been swimming like Michael Phelps while my wife's sitting at home doing nothing. Tell it like it is. Cause you blunt any other time.
And some things that otherwise may be considered okay by some in terms of like just chatting or checking on people or being checked on by people that I've had a previous encounter with. But without my wife's knowledge of it and with us having a sexual history, all of it falls.
This is, I don't mean to keep pausing it, but this dude is a fraud, bro. He sat up here and chastised and put down and insult men all the time. Meanwhile, he was doing not just the same thing, worse than the people that he was actually talking about. Come on, man. Like, this dude is a fraud. Like, come on, bro. And we told y'all women he was a fraud. So now you sitting up here with your wife. Look at her face, bro. Look at her face. Does she look like she want to be there? She look like everything he's saying is BS. He's going to do it again. She looked like she under some type of spell, hypnosis, something. I don't know, bro. I don't know. Sweater guy, Derrick Jaxn. Let's go.
Under the umbrella of inappropriate, cheating, affair, stepping out. Definitely not in alignment with the vows that I took and definitely not in alignment with the biblical standard of what it means to be faithful, which is the standard that I'm going by now.
It's not in alignment with every single video you've ever made sitting in your car. It's not in alignment to what you got rich off of or got a lot of money off of. You got a lot of money off the fact that less than perfect men, such as myself, such as everybody that's listening, you saying, look, hey, I'm so much, basically putting forth, I'm so much better than him. Look, they need to do what I do. If these men ain't doing what I do, then, hey, you don't need to be with them. You don't need to be with them. Like, come on, man. Come on, dude. Ladies, if you just take a raw chicken wing right out the pack and put it on your husband's plate and he don't eat it, you need to leave him. Because he needs to be willing to get salmonella poisoning and die for you. And if he don't do that, he ain't the one.
Now, I'm saying this publicly, not because I'm, married to you guys. First and foremost, I'm accountable to God.
Yes, you are.
Then
yes, you are. That's why you're saying it.
Which we've already had this conversation. I've already told her literally everything. I've given her basically a roll call list. If I've said hello to a woman in the last 12 years of me knowing her, she knows about it.
You don't get any credit for telling her everything. TMZ already revealed it. What credit do you get from that?
But now that it's been made so public, it's important that I first off let you guys know I do not stand by those actions. I don't want to encourage anybody to do that. And then secondly, I know that I cannot build a platform preaching certain things, preaching against certain things, and then in my real life live contrary to that for any amount of time. Or any length.
That's what you've been doing. What you mean you cannot? No. You should have said, I shouldn't have been preaching one thing and doing another. Don't say you cannot, because that implies that you're just starting to build a platform and this came out. Your platform was already huge and you did this. So the word is, I shouldn't have been preaching one thing and doing another.
Of time to any extent and think that I can't be held accountable. The same way that I preach, men and women in this situation need to face consequences of their actions, deserve to be held accountable. Guess what? Derrick Jaxn's no exemption. He's not exempt from that. I'm also not a victim. Nobody made me do this.
At the end of the day, if TMZ hadn't came out with it, nobody would have known. You'd have kept doing what you was doing if you hadn't got caught. You'd have kept doing what you was doing. You probably was doing what you was doing from the rip. And the first 1 million followers you got, the first 1 million views you got, you was still doing it. The first 2 million, you was still doing it. The first 3 million, you was still doing it. This dude and his dang on LL Cool J sweater, bruh. First of all, anybody who wore a V-neck sweater in 2021, you know they not to be trusted on any level.
She didn't make me or push me to do it. The next person didn't make me. No friend influenced me. It don't matter how I was raised and what trauma, whatever. Look, I made decisions. I made a series of decisions that I got to account for. There's no excuse or justification. I've already made that bet and have had to lie in it.
Yep.
And now we're finally getting on to the other side, personally, in our own healing, in our own marital oneness. And now this is being made.
You finally getting over to the other side. You can't speak for her. I don't know how she feeling. Don't say we starting to get over to the other side. No, that's not how it go. You starting to, duh. Yeah, hell yeah, you want to get over to the other side. You the one that was doing it.
Made public to you guys, so we're bringing that forth to you guys to let you know where we're at with that. But did you want to say anything?
Yes, so I do want to just add that I agree with what he just said. There is no justification for bringing other women into
Definitely
marriage on any level, and it was unacceptable, and it's not something that I tolerate or that we tolerate moving forward. And when I've been,
I mean, and I do feel sorry for her, but let's stop the cap. Like, you're still there, you're tolerating it. You're still there, you're tolerating it. Like, come on, man. If somebody slapped somebody else and they were like, I do not tolerate that, and then she go and sit down on the couch, like, you tolerated it. If you don't tolerate that stuff after it happened, you leave. You tolerated it. You just got to come to terms with it.
flooded again with messages and these things and about, I need to leave, or why haven't I answer is, when I found out.
We know why you haven't left. I mean, we can see it in the background. So we know why you haven't left. I mean, let's just stop. I don't want to bash nobody, but y'all know I can't do nothing but tell the truth. We know why you haven't left. Look in the background.
About it, I left. I did not hesitate or waste time to do so. And I stayed gone. No matter how many times he came, I stayed gone and stood firm on, I am not coming back. And I did not come back until I seen a shift and a change in his mentality, in how he carried himself, and how he presented himself. And
First of all, you don't know any of that. Let me tell y'all, she cannot say until there was a shift in his mentality, because you know how you could tell there's a shift in your mentality by your actions. That's how I could tell you think different. I can't get inside your brain. The only way I know that you think different is if you act different. So when she was separated from him, she didn't know his mentality changed. You came back because he probably bought you all type of stuff and you wanted to keep living. It's okay. You wanted to keep doing like you doing. Like, come on, man. Fabulous. Like, I don't even want to get started.
The conversations that we were able to have that we had never been able to have in just 12 years of knowing each other. And when we were able to have these dialogues, said, okay, Lord, this is something that you've had your hand on. And this was with me being completely removed from his life. And him pursuing God, continuing to pursue God, and continuing to eliminate these things.
Look at this, bro. I keep pausing it. I know y'all gonna be like, dude, stop pausing the video. Just look at the dude's face. Like, just look, he just shaking his head like, oh, this dude is a fraud, bro. This dude is a fraud. Come on, man. This dude is just because you apologize for being a fraud, that don't make you not a fraud. I apologize that y'all found out that I was frauding. No.
That led up to the catastrophe that you guys are seeing for the first time. So there's nothing out there right now that is information that I don't already know about or haven't known about. And so this is not something that is new. We have moved forward from it. We have gotten counsel for it and continue to do so. He is still continuing to pursue God and continuing to seek guidance and wise counsel from men of God. And that...
What the hell are you talking? Guidance and counsel from men of God? Don't cheat on your wife, bro. That's it. What they gonna tell you? What they gonna tell you? I'm gonna give you counseling right now. I'm gonna give you counseling right now, and it's gonna be free. Because you paying a grip probably. It's gonna be free. I'm gonna give you counseling right now. Stop cheating on your wife. If you want to have sex with other women, get a divorce.
Is what I needed for the continuation of me being present in this marriage and to stand by his side. So today, where I'm at is at peace, and I proudly stand by his side, and I have no hesitation, I have no hurt, no shame about that. And it's only because of the grace of God and the mercy of God. And we have already turned a new chapter in this story. We are continuing to move forward, and we are just now sharing that with you.
Oh my goodness, come on.
And I forgave him, and most importantly, God has first forgiven him, and I also forgive the others as well. And with that,
they didn't do nothing wrong.
Free and
a thought is gonna be a thought.
That's all I have.
Yeah. And I get it. Some of y'all, like, this may come as a huge shock, probably a huge disappointment.
No, it don't come as a huge shock to me or none of the other men. It come to a huge shock of them women. I know how you talk. If somebody is OD going one particular way, bruh, it's a good chance that they fraud. Like, come on, man.
You down. If you've had a perspective shift on who Derrick is, hopefully it's away from anything remotely close to perfection, and it's simply that, I am a human, And that does not justify anything that I did. But I don't want anybody out there to be putting me on a pedestal. If you did, then I hate that you did that. Maybe I gave you cause for that, and I apologize if I did. For those who are saying, Derrick, I don't want to ever listen to you again, it's totally understandable. I appreciate you while I had your support and helping me get the message out about healing and healthy relationships to so many people who needed it, myself included. And for those who are going to continue to support, man, I appreciate you like never before, because I know it's not going to be easy going forward, at least for a little while so many things are still fresh and attached to my name.
For the people who want to stay and let me keep frauding them, look, you know you're getting you know I'm a fraud, but I appreciate you for staying and getting frauded, because it takes a moron to do that. So I appreciate all my moron fans.
But for everybody out there, if you get nothing else from what I've ever said over the last 9 years or right here in this video, please get this. Nothing is right until it is right with God. Nothing works until it comes into alignment with biblical standard of how God told us to do things, especially when we're talking about a marital, spiritual.
All this is nonsense, man.
By your own understanding, your own intelligence,
All this is nonsense.
willpower,
You knew this
your
stuff
own
beforehand.
values. You have to have the grace of God.
You knew this
To
stuff
break free from
beforehand,
certain
bro.
things, to stay away from certain things, to not operate from your lowest self, whatever it may
Skip.
be. Because it's really only
Oh, no,
by
it's almost
grace that
in.
we're even able to be here on this video, holding hands. Well, like a year ago, 7-8 months ago, even I couldn't see this happen.
Now you saying, but and this was so crazy. You say, I'm just thinking in my head every time I saw a woman on Facebook post this dude video, Twitter, Instagram, all this type of stuff. Like, first of all, stop putting God in your BS, bro. Like, stop doing that, because he told you what to do from the rip, and you knew what to do from the rip. You should have said, look, I know what God wants me to do, and I disappointed him. And I just got to ask for mercy. That's it. If I'm talking about in alignment with what he believes. Like, that's it. Her circulation, she only has one hand at this point.
Happening, I thought it was over, and I already had begun establishing my relationship with God, but that's the fruit of bringing things in alignment with God. And the mess that's been made, the mess that's now being made public from last year and years past, that's a result of getting out of alignment with doing things God's way. So that's where I stand. That's where we stand. And again, we appreciate you guys, and we'll see you soon. Peace.
His phone. Look, he said, look, come on, bro. Come on. Look at the dude biting his lip, talking to it's a thought watcher right now. That's who he doing it for. Like, hey, baby, you know I'm just playing. Hit me up. You know I'm just, like, come on, bro. Come on, man. 7-8 months ago. So even by your standard, you was doing these videos, telling people to do this, telling people to do that, down in men, and all this time you was, y'all better be careful, man. Y'all fall for any old BS, bro. Especially when you fall for any, these men need to, you talking to you know what's so crazy? It's a woman that was talking to, that got mad at her man because of some shit he said, and her man is faithful, and this nigga running around town. Like, oh, that's crazy. I'm going to leave it at that. I hit y'all up later. Like and subscribe, and salute.